about speaking my mind on that topic because there are a lot of people talking about this in certain communities, and I want to express what I think. To me, it makes no sense to believe in antinatalism because if there are souls coming to this planet, they will come here anyway. If you stop having children, it doesn't mean that these souls won't reincarnate on this planet or whatever this place is. I don't think it's a planet, actually. From my conclusion, I think it's more of a mind game, an illusion. So I will express that a bit later. Anyway, the thing is, if souls want to come here, they will be born to some other parent. So what I think is, it would probably be better if you're a good person, if you are the parent of, a soul, and you give them your insight and your special abilities or your wisdom. So why would you allow these souls to come here and probably be, part of a family that might be abusive if you could be the better person for them? That's just how I see it. But the whole picture of this all, what I think of this universe by now, is that nothing is real. So anyway, I don't believe in antinatalism because I think it's a beautiful thing to maybe find a real soul. I think the right souls, there are very few real souls here, and they kind of attract each other probably. So to have a child that you can raise with real love and protect from abuse, and that's a good thing. So that's a privilege, and I don't understand why people actually don't see that. Anyway, if this is really such a dark place, why shouldn't you make the effort to protect some souls, teach them how to deal with all this stuff? And if you learned more than the average person, why shouldn't you share it with a soul that is reincarnating here? So what I think of this universe by now is that, and it's a controversial opinion, maybe nothing is real. So just imagine if it's really just in your mind, if your perception is the whole reality, then the abuse and the suffering also isn't real, and it's only created to make you suffer and make you fearful and make you stressed. Do you understand what I mean? So in fact, I thought about that for the past few months. I had this realization that maybe all these books that I've read about the children that are being sacrificed, and maybe that's not even real, because all that is only my perception and my reality and only what I see. I understand that's probably a very unpopular opinion and some people will scream, but how do I know that you're not just screaming because you want to make me fearful and bring me back to the illusion of reality that tries to bring us all down to the lowest frequency? You know what I mean? I do believe that there are souls with different perceptions that do meet. Also meet in this kind of semi-shared reality, because you can never completely share a reality. You can never share your reality with another soul person. It's impossible. Everybody has their own ideas and reality. It's just the way it is. So maybe this whole stuff that we are allowing to infiltrate our minds has been created to stress us out and to keep us in the idea of this being a hell, when in fact all we have to focus on is our own perception and to improve our own minds, and maybe it's not real. I hope I can make my point. Yeah, I understand that this is really bizarre to think like that. But in some way, I had such strange experiences the past couple of years where I felt more and more, and it's not that, I mean, even the most intelligent, truthful people, where I sense there's a truly pure and good heart in them. However, I just started to feel so disconnected from so many people, in a sense that it's and it has never been like that. So in a sense that I just couldn't trust this whole idea of the universe anymore. I thought something is trying to drag me down to a level of despair and misery when I went out of a very difficult period of my life where I was suffering from some kind of illness where nobody was finding anything, and then I actually overcame it, and then some other things occurred, and I constantly had this feeling something is trying to pull me back down because I overcame such a huge challenge and struggle in my life where I felt I couldn't think straight anymore. I didn't feel like myself anymore. I felt that something was seriously had tied me up. Sounds so bizarre, I'm sorry. Not in that sense, but put me in a cage and I just couldn't be myself anymore. It was a very confusing time because I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know what was happening. Then when I came out, something was really angry that I escaped and was constantly trying to bring me back down. What happened then was that actually some of my longest friendships, like lifelong friendships, they just all within weeks, they just broke down. And the people accused me of being evil, or it was so strange. Like constantly there was something trying to bring me back to a level of misery which I escaped. I felt so good, like I didn't feel for a long time. My health is probably the best it has been since, I don't know, for the past 7 or 8 years, maybe even. And so I feel so good, and I feel mentally healthy. I feel my mind works well. I also had this feeling that somehow I couldn't concentrate anymore. So it was really, I don't know what really was going on. I made the best out of it. I had a good life, and still something was just not right. And I can't say 100% what it was. It felt like something was trying to influence me and to, yes, it tried to change my personality to a very weak-minded identity. And it was very hard to escape. I loved doing art, I loved doing music videos, I loved working on projects. I couldn't do all that anymore. I don't know why. It was all like blocked. Everything was just blocked. And I just didn't feel like I was me anymore. It didn't feel like I was myself anymore. So this is when I just noticed, when I finally escaped and I went out of this, now I feel like myself again, like 100%. And I feel happy and relaxed, and probably one of the best times of my life, from the way I feel mentally, and because it's also such a big relief to have overcome something like that, where I didn't know where it came from. And I had this feeling that this world turned into hell for me during that time. Now I don't feel that anymore. It felt like some kind of spiritual suppression. Yes, is this even real, this whole thing? Are people even real? I mean, are they so easily influenced? Like, how can it happen that within 1 week, my 3 best lifelong friends, no, it was not 1 week, it was 1 month, within 1 month, but it was seriously not longer than 1 month, they all kind of distanced themselves from me for kind of seriously ridiculous reasons. And I'm aware that I'm not always an easy person, but I'm also not the most difficult person to get along with. I'm a good-hearted person. So this was just so unusual, where I just thought, no. Something is going on here, and something is trying to drag me back down and make me unhappy and miserable again. It doesn't like that I escaped. Anyway, it doesn't get me back. So, and I I do believe that it's beautiful, especially for a woman, to have children. There are also so many children in orphanages. Excuse my pronunciation. So to rescue such a soul, maybe to find a real soul and to give it the right kind of love, and to treat it in the best way possible. Doesn't mean because you don't have children that there won't be people coming in here. And I strongly believe that this universe can be changed for the better. If it's really all in your mind, then it definitely can be changed. And if there's really a material world that exists for like 1,000,000 souls and for many beings, and if this is a realm that won't just disappear because you're gone, you know what I mean? Like, then I still believe you should give guidance to new souls that probably made a mistake or they wanted to come here, and you should give guidance to them because you probably have more wisdom and more spiritual influence and power than most other people. So why be so selfish and not do that? But however, I'm against single mothers or single dads. For some reason, I still believe a child should have 2 parents, and the parents should make a commitment to raise the child and seriously be there for the child and not be selfish and have some sort of contract to stay together until the child reaches a certain age. And they should make the effort to show the child how love works. And so anyway, I'm not sure I will raise a child, but the propaganda to spread this antinatalism thing, it also adds to the depopulation, and there's a huge interest in not having more aware souls here, I think. So in my opinion, that's not something that happened by coincidence. It was put out there by these specific people, they started that, like most of the stuff. And I also think they started the Hell Realm thing. Anyway, that's something that is widespread in the left-hand path community and also in the satanic Bible. But I don't think that's the only dimension. So to some extent, it might be one dimension, but there are different dimensions existing parallel to each other here on this planet or in your mind. So just because this dimension exists, it's definitely there, doesn't mean other dimensions cannot be accessed. This is my personal opinion. Okay, if you don't share, that's fine. Anyway, take care and love you. Have a curiosity to speak to someone.
The Cadillac you see.